Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda, and this is Gizmo.
We're the village's newcomers. What a day. He's still under the weather.
Excuse me.
Bless her heart. And what a trooper, because we have been here probably 4 or 5 hours.
At least.
Trying to get this finished.
At least.
We keep having technical difficulties. Mm-hmm. Her microphone went out. Then mine went out the second time we retaped. This is the third time we've taped the show.
Yeah.
But we want to do it for you. So on today's episode, you're going to find out about a recent annoyance with our amenity fees.
Mm-hmm. And should you buy a new or pre-owned home?
Can you live in the villages if you don't own a car?
Are there really 8 women to every man?
And how big is the villages?
The snowbirds are gone, so how big are the crowds during the activities?
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
We sure hope you enjoyed those bus interviews.
Yeah, they were fun to do. Great people. We loved it. Now, this coming Thursday, it may or may not be your cup of tea. Mm. Because you remember a week or so ago, I told you about the surgery I was going to have for the squamous cell carcinoma.
That's right.
I had it, and they let me film it. They let me take the equipment right into the operating room, and we filmed it.
Right.
So you're going to see that. If you're squeamish about the squamous, you may not want to watch, but it's coming on Thursday. A little damage control.
Oh, dear.
If you remember last week, I gave a little piece about taking care of our golf courses. Rake the sand in those traps. Fix your divots and repair your ball marks on the green. A lot of you conscientious watchers told me later I did it all wrong. The way I did it can actually kill the grass on the green. There are plenty of YouTube videos to tell you how to
to fix the ball marks.
Yeah, that was it. And you can watch those. Evidently, I was prying the middle up, and that could leave an air pocket underneath. But you'll be happy to know that I went back to that green where I did those ball mark repairs.
Aww.
And that grass is doing just great.
You're checking on
so
the baby.
I didn't kill it.
There you go.
But thank you for letting me know that I screwed up once again.
Time for shout outs.
This is Jen and Amy. Amy's dad is Ed. Ed's 100 years old. We don't have a picture of Ed.
Wonderful.
More importantly, he's a veteran of World War II.
Wow.
And he's going to be visiting the villages and would love to meet any other veterans from World War II. So if you know of any here in the villages, let us know. We'll forward that on to Jen and Amy. And maybe
Ed,
they can get together.
And
yeah,
Ed, thank you for your service.
Yes,
oh, my
thank
goodness.
You. You're part of America's greatest generation.
Absolutely. This is Hank, Phyllis, and Pam, and they're at the grand opening of the First Responders Rec Center.
We haven't been there yet.
Not yet.
We need to go. I heard it's quite a nice place.
Yes.
This is Peter Bernard and his wife. Now, Peter is a retired news anchor. And he says that they're going to explore a move to the villages, and hopefully they'll be here. Peter, I Googled you. You were quite a news anchor. And we may have to get you on the job here, helping us with our blog once you get to town. Here's George and his wife. They're from Valdosta, Georgia. He's a big bass fisherman. He wrote me a nice email and said he invited me to go out fishing in his boat in search of those giant Florida lunkers. George, I've only got one thing to say to you. See you when you get here.
This is Alan and Beverly McConnell, and they're a lovely couple that went on our cruise with us.
Nice people.
Yeah.
Alan's a music teacher.
That's right.
And we sure enjoyed the time we spent with them. This is Cindy Peterson. Here she is with her husband. They were married in 2018 and celebrating their 4th anniversary. That picture, in fact, is their engagement photo.
Aww. And Christine sent in this photo of a Labradoodle, Max, and he loves to watch Gizmo.
Who doesn't? Here's a good-looking couple. That's Ed and Pam Chisholm. This photo was taken in Greece. They were here for a lifestyle visit and said they had a great time.
I sure would like to visit Greece someday. And this is Bill and Teresa with their friends Sue and Tom from Kansas. And they found a home through rentfromavillager.com. And they are in the Orange Blossom Pool. It looks like a lot of fun in that pool. It's got that waterfall.
That is a beautiful pool. One of the prettiest of all. Barbara Hardy sent this picture from her home up in Maine. She says she's happy to leave that frozen tundra for sunny Florida. I feel you. And what a beautiful animal.
Ah,
I love those. The moose is such a big, grand animal.
Yeah.
Just awesome.
and it's time for Viewer of the Week.
Bill and Judy Layton are such nice people. So helpful, so friendly. They've lived here in the Villages over 20 years. They live up in Harmswood.
Oh,
That is a gorgeous village. Mature trees, giant lots. It's one of the upscale places. We brought it to you in one of our videos
Right.
last year. Just a real nice place.
a lovely neighborhood. You need to go up and go through that. It's just like, oh my goodness.
And Bill and Judy are just as nice as the neighborhood, and we want to congratulate you for being our Viewers of the Week.
And our first question today, this is from Michelle. You've been there quite a while now. What is your favorite place in the Villages? Well, I have a lot of favorite places, but the one that stands out really quickly is, believe it or not, on a golf course. On Volusia Golf Course here in the Villages near where we live, on the second hole, that tee, you go, it's kind of elevated and you turn around and look, and you can see housetops after housetops for miles. And I think that's just gorgeous. What's your favorite part?
I do like that place, both hole 2 and 3.
Yes.
And if the sun is just right, I mean, it's a gorgeous view.
Yes.
I think my favorite, when it came up, when the question came up, the first thing that popped in my mind was that beautiful tunnel of trees up near Laurel Manor Rec Center. It's has a cart path running right through it. Just a gorgeous view. Lake Sumter, always lovely. And speaking of lovely, as we're talking, you're seeing pictures. Now, these pictures are by two great photographers from the Villages, Ron Clark and also Ellen Marie Flatley. And they've said we could use their pictures, and I'm so happy because they're just beautiful. Look at that.
Great photographers.
Bobby wrote an interesting question, and in fact, he signed his name Bobby, hoping to hook up. Are there really 8 women for every man in the Villages? That's what we've heard. Why would that be? Seems like men would have easy picking. Bobby, you can hear lots of crazy things about the Villages, and very few of them would be true. But in this case, we looked it up. We went just like you could to Google. And by the way, you can do your own research too.
Yep.
We'll always give you the best answers that we can find, but check it for yourself. You know, we say that all the time. We found that according to the official census, there were 54% women in the Villages. So that leaves 46% men.
Right.
So there are more women, but it's not 2 to 1. It's not 3 to 1. It's not 4 to 1. It's less than that. So to break it down, something you could understand, for every 13 women, there are 11 men.
Okay.
That's not a great advantage, but a little bit. So, the ladies have to be on their A game if they want to snag an eligible bachelor down here.
Yeah.
In fact, we have a friend, she said, keep your eye out for an eligible bachelor. She said, I want him to have his own teeth and preferably some hair.
Is the fire department adequate? We know that it is growing by leaps and bounds. We have heard there are lots of fires in Florida. Wow.
We had the fire chief here. He sat right over here and did an interview with us. And we determined that response for a fire was only 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes away here in the Villages. And that's the way they planned it. Down there, I know of one fire department that's down in the southern portion.
Yes.
And I don't know of any others, but I'm sure they're in the plans because the Villages knows how to plan a community.
Yeah.
And there are probably regulations and standards to go by, and I'm sure
Right.
that they will do so.
I'm going to start counting how many times he's flubbing up.
I messed up a little bit.
Woohoo! I mean, it pulling the, when the wind came, pulling it, it would rip.
I'm with you though.
Yeah.
Later. It's a rough day. Son of a bitch.
It's not on.
Just in your head, my surgery. Next Thursday, coming up
Okay.
Thursday.
I can tell when it's not good. Location, location, location.
It shouldn't be this hard.
My mouth is not working.
No, it is not.
This is so, quit looking at me. Just look ahead. From Susan.
I felt a little awkward because I answered an email like I always do when people send us things. Sometimes they make it on the air, sometimes they don't. This one I answered privately, but now I'm kind of sorry that I sent the answer because we've had a little update and it regards the amenities. I'm going to read you his letter to us, and then I'm going to read my response, and then I'm going to tell you what I really think. Hi, Jerry and Linda. I have a question in regards to the monthly fees that you have to pay to use the golf courses, pools, and rec centers. My wife and I are planning a lifestyle stay in September, and neither of us play golf. Is there a way to only pay for the use of the rec centers and pools to save money? I don't feel it's right to subsidize the golf centers and golf courses, which we'll never use. Thanks in advance, JJ in Ohio.
Yeah.
Good question, and you're not alone, JJ. We get this question, so I decided to answer it, and I sent you the following answer. We can understand why you feel that way. However, think of how many people here that never use the swimming pools. What about people that have their own pool in their home? What about people that never play billiards or don't play bocce or don't play horseshoes, don't play pickleball? I know several people that don't own golf carts. Should they have to pay for the cart paths? The village has provided so many things for us all to enjoy, we cannot pick and choose which ones we want to pay for. So that's what I sent him, and I believe that. However, then we got our amenity fee this month.
Oh my goodness.
When we moved here, it was $147. It went up into the 150s. Then last year, it went up to $168. $168.66. That's what we've been paying.
Right.
It went up to that, but we thought that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
This month, it's $183.94. That's about $16, $15 to $16 more. That's a pretty good jump.
Mm-hmm.
So I called the villages to talk to them.
Oh, I did too.
She tried, but she didn't get a call back.
No.
So I called, and I did talk to a nice lady who said, that's because the consumer price index went up 9%. So whatever our old bill was, it went up 9%. That's a lot. I know that your pensions don't go up 9%.
No.
I doubt that our Social Security is going to go up 9%.
I doubt
But
it.
our bills are going up. We went to the grocery store, and this will be on a show in a week or two. Hamburger was $7.79 a pound.
It's made out of gold.
Everything's going up, and now our amenity fees are going up. But that being said, we paid quite a bit for a YMCA membership back in Indiana,
Yes.
almost $100 for both of us total.
Yeah.
But here we're paying $184, and look how much more we get. Free golf, over 100 swimming pools.
I know.
We can go play bocce. We can play pickleball. We don't. We need to, though. We can do all these wonderful activities and get these beautiful cart paths to roam around on. And just
Yes.
life is good here.
Yes.
And we feel like that's a small charge, but that doesn't mean we want it to keep going up. Pauline writes, the most appealing thing to me about a self-contained retirement community is not having a car. Just putter around in my golf cart.
I kind of like that idea.
Can I get by without a car in the villages? Pauline, that's a good question. And another one that we get,
Yeah.
especially from elderly people, or
Yeah.
in fact, a lot of people that used to drive don't
Yeah,
like to
don't-
drive as they age, and I can
Yes.
totally understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that the answer for me, and it's a matter of opinion, is no, you cannot get by without a car. Some people do. They impose on friends. They Uber. They use public transportation, what little of it there is here. But our doctor, for example, is a 20, 25-minute ride outside the bubble.
Yeah.
Linda likes to shop outside the bubble.
Yeah.
You know, movie theaters, stores, lots of places she likes to go are outside the bubble.
Yeah.
And we use a car to do that. Even this week when I had surgery, I didn't want to take a golf cart up to have surgery.
No, that'd take too
I
long.
had to take a car. She's had several doctor's visits this week, and
Yes.
we take the car. When we go up to Spanish Springs, it's a long ride. We take the car.
This is from Alan. Would you recommend buying a new home or pre-owned? Well, Alan, I think that's your preference. Whatever appeals to you and whatever, if you find that perfect home, it could be a pre-owned home. And that's what happened to us. We love our pre-owned home.
4 years ago, almost 4 years, hard to believe.
I know.
When we came down here, we looked at new homes and we looked at pre-owned. The reason we went with the pre-owned home was we liked the infrastructure.
Yes.
All the cart trails were finished, the tunnels were finished, the landscaping was mature. This home, for example, was not the bare bones new home that you get.
No.
This home had, the lanai was finished with glass. It had a mini split air conditioner out there. The floor is painted.
The driveway is painted. The garage floor was done. We had a lot of upgrades.
We love that epoxy garage
Yeah.
floor. The house had been done with crown molding and plantation shutters.
Gorgeous.
And just there were a lot of extras that you would pay for once you bought a new home. And that's what sold this home for us. And you may find a pre-owned home that hasn't had all these and get a bargain on it.
Yeah.
But then you'd probably want to do some of these things yourself. Diane of Hanover, Maine asks, is there a best time of year to purchase? I don't think so. I think that the homes here are in high demand. It's a seller's market for sure. If you find the place you love, go for it. Of course, you know the first 3 rules of real estate.
Location, location, location.
Find the place you want to live. If you find a home that you like, it's time to pull the trigger. They don't last long down here.
No. This is from Susie, new to Citrus Grove. I recently drove by Colony Cottage and there were ladies lined up all the way around the outside. I think they were waiting to get in the pool. I thought this was down season. I can't imagine what it's like when the snowbirds come back. And yes, Susie, that was my group of girls lined up and men lined up all the way around the Colony Cottage pool. And I'm telling you, it's a popular class on Monday mornings. And you want to get there, you got to get there 45 minutes early so that you can get in because they will limit it to 50 to 60 people. And she's a great instructor. Her name is Julie. Anyway, you need to get there early. And I know it's off season, but you got to do what you got to do.
What does that mean?
You got to get there early and line up.
It's like anything. When you go to the town squares, we went down there last week and there were parking spots because people didn't really love that band.
Oh,
When they love the band, when they love the instructor, when the class is a winner,
yeah.
it's going to be crowded whether it's snowbird season or
Yeah.
the heat of summer. The popular activities are still going to be popular. If you drive your car from east to west across the entire width of the villages, how long would it take and how long from north to south? And that's from Teeter and Patsy, Long Island, New York. Well, I developed this map that you're looking at on your screen. Very crude, but I tried to give you an idea, 3 different trips, how long they would take. The first one was from the very northern part of the villages up near Highway 42. I chose Mulberry Grove because that's a well-known rec center up there. All the way down to Sawgrass Grove, the popular one down by Citrus Grove.
Right.
And that trip, actually, if you Google it, takes you outside the villages to come down Highway 301. And still coming outside and down that highway and all the way around, that's a 19-mile trip. And it's going to take you about 30 minutes by car.
Wow.
If you decided to come down through the villages, say down through Buena Vista and hit all those roundabouts and stoplights, it's going to be a lot longer trip than that. So we're talking at least 19 miles to get from top to bottom, and it's growing all the time.
It is. Yeah.
Now, east to west, you asked me that as well. So let's go from the Villages High School, which is near the western boundary of the Villages, near 301, and all the way across 466 until we get, I don't know, where are we going over there? We're going all the way to Highway 441. That's about 6 or 7 miles, and it's going to take you around 10 or 11 minutes to make that trip. So right now we've got at least a 30-minute trip from top to bottom and about a 10 or 11-minute trip from east to west. It's a big place.
Mm-hmm. Huge.
It's not the little town in the movie of Cocoon that I thought it was.
No.
I thought it was going to get here and Wilford Brimley was going to come out and we were going to go play some shuffleboard or something.
No.
No, it's a big, big place. Some people have written this week and said, we've decided against the Villages. It's just too big for us. We live in the village of Dunedin, which we consider a smaller community within this big community that we all live in. Another trip you might be interested would be from Spanish Springs down to Brownwood Paddock Square. That trip is approximately 9.4 miles and 21 minutes, according to Google, in an automobile. So from the farthest town square to Brownwood, 21 minutes. Now remember, the Villages is getting bigger all the time. Some people have said that Brownwood is someday going to be the middle of the Villages.
We'll be in the middle. Todd asked, how much does it cost for maintenance and upkeep of a gas golf cart for a year?
Todd, that's a good question. You're probably trying to decide whether you want electric or gas. A gas golf cart has a fuel tank of 5 gallons. Gas is $4 a gallon. So you're going to fill that up, takes 5 gallons. It's going to cost you about 20 bucks. You can go 250 miles on that 20 bucks.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as other upkeep, the only thing you really have to do if you keep your gas golf cart in good shape is to change the oil once a year or so. And that's $79 if these mobile units come to your house and do it. Or you can do it yourself. It takes 1 quart of oil. And you get a grease gun and you lube those fittings a little bit.
I think we need to learn to do that.
I've done it.
Oh,
No,
oopsie. I wasn't
I
around.
did your cart. In fact.
Oh, thank you, dear.
You're running smooth because of me.
Oh, you're so sweet. Someone asked us if there's poison ivy down here in Florida. And you know, I have not seen any. But we're not in any kind of an area that we're not walking out in, jungle area or whatever.
We have not frolicked in the grass
We have
for
not
years.
frolicked in the grass. So
Poison ivy is not, we don't see vines growing up people's home. We don't see people complaining about it. Gizmo's
No.
never brought it in.
no,
No.
but I know if I do see it and just even get near it, I get it. So I don't want to get near it. This is from Lisa. We have heard you say many times that shorts and t-shirts are acceptable attire at restaurants, etc. What about at church, in your experience? Well, in my experience is churches don't really require the suits, maybe suits or fancy dresses anymore like we used to. But you will see dresses. You won't see suits. You won't see jackets too much. Basically, you're gonna see everything. I've had flip-flops and I've had shorts.
Totally up to you,
Yep.
Lisa.
Yep.
Do you think Jesus cares what you wear to church?
No.
Cindy says she'd been studying the deed restrictions. And as she waits to close on her house, one of the items is no satellite dishes. I thought I saw smaller dishes on houses, but was that wishful thinking? Just judging from our own neighborhood, yes. In fact, our house had a satellite dish on it when we bought it.
We did.
It was one of those 30-some inchers,
Yeah.
like this.
Right.
These are the common ones, about this big.
Right.
Although when we first got married, we had a satellite dish. It was called a Bird View.
Oh my gosh.
It was 9.5 feet across.
It was humongous.
We could communicate with the Hubble telescope with
Yeah.
that thing. I mean, that was big.
To Mars.
And we didn't have a motor on it. If we had to change satellites, I had to run out with a wrench and I'd be like,
You
"Do
did.
I have it? Is that it?"
Yeah, honey, that's good.
Yeah. So we had, but you can have them here, although always check with your deed restrictions because all these districts can have different rules
Yeah.
and we don't know what goes. But I know that on our street there are several
Absolutely.
satellite dishes, no matter how ugly they are. Last week, you remember I told you about my grandmother's great-grandmother and my grandmother named Clyde, and she had a grandmother named Katinka. And I said, send us in some funny names. We got some good names. Cuzco. I love that name. Oleander. How about Dorcas? I've been called Dork a few times, but Dorcas. Pensilia. Remola. Ethylene. Diaper.
Oh, no.
Chlorine. Isolene. And Greenberry. They said that was really some guy's name. Greenberry. Bless her heart.
I'm so sorry.
She put on her big girl pants for you today. She's a little bit sick, but she wanted to get this out for you. So we appreciate that.
I think some of those were made up.
No, they were not.
Oh, my gosh. Isolene. Chlorine.
We've got a friend over here. What's her sister's name is Velveeta?
Something like that.
Something like that.
And this is our last question. Already. We know Linda is afraid of alligators. Why is she so afraid? Have you found them in your yard? Are they everywhere? It seems although one could never relax. Not a fan of gators, but a big fan of Jerry and Linda and Gizmo. Well,
While we answer this, let's put some of Ron Clark's gator pictures up.
okay.
There are gators here. They don't really intrude. Now, once in a while, you'll see one has wandered up onto somebody's lanai or
And that's mating season about May.
patio, but not often. And we don't know of anybody that's been hurt. We did see the famous footage of a dog that wandered too close to the pond. And remember the guy with the cigar fought it off and got his dog back?
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cool. But we generally go show the grandkids alligators. We'll go look for them. And I see them when I'm fishing all the time and never have a problem. They have given me quite a problem in the fact that my little daredevil here that used to do just about anything. Won't go fishing. She
Oh.
won't go kayaking. She's afraid.
I guess
She's a
I've
scaredy cat.
I've become a senior. Maybe, I don't know. I respect my life a little more, maybe, I don't know. No, I'm not terribly afraid. I just want to respect them. And
That's going to do it for our questions. Now it's time for Gizmo to chip in. You see what he's doing here?
uh-huh.
He's pushing on me. Hey, buddy. Are you ready for your segment? Take it away.
Hello there, everybody. I hope you're all doing great. I want to ask you, do you know what a pig's favorite karate move is? It's the pork chop. We're going to stay with the farm animals theme for just a minute here. You know what horses say when they fall down? They say, I can't giddy up. I can't giddy up. Oh my goodness. And you know, some people send this joke all the time. They say, I wanna get a long little doggy. You know, like me. A long little doggy. Get along, little doggy. Oh my goodness. And I think I'll give you guys a bonus joke today because Mom and Dad are fumbling around with this show and you stuck in there this long, so you deserve it. How does a rancher keep track of his cattle? He does it with a calculator. Calculator. That's going to do it for this week, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Keep sending me those good jokes. I love them.
Good job, pal. You did it again. You're always funny. I think you're funny because those viewers send you some really good jokes. Thank all of you that do that. I'm sure they make life easier for him. That's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
Don't forget Thursday if you want to see the behind-the-scenes operation that trimmed off my squamous cell carcinoma.
Yeah.
It'll be on at 7 a.m. If you do watch us on Facebook, you've seen some updates, whether it be on Linda's illness or my surgery or going to an estate sale. We had an estate sale the other day.
Or us going out to eat.
Yeah, did you see her devour those big rack of ribs from a dinosaur the other day? They weren't really, but they were about this big.
And delicious.
Delicious. So we do that on Facebook. If you're interested, please go to find Jerry and Linda on Facebook and follow us, please.
If you liked our video today, please press that like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. Until next time.
See you when you get here.